Boys, Merry Christmas. And as you can see on screen, we got another rare ass video that I believe has never been done on YouTube before. And because it is, such a merry day and such a literally once in a year type of day, we're going to be doing a tier list on which UFC fighter would make the best mall Santa. Very fitting for today being Christmas and all. Before we even begin, I need some appreciation. I'm not saying I'm one of the only, but I am, one of the only current UFC, or I guess MMA YouTube channels posting during the holidays. So help your boy out. With that being said, as you can see on screen, we have GOATed. This is going to be for the very few GOATed UFC fighters that would make a GOATed mall Santa. Then we have good, okay, bad, and just terrible. There's going to be a few dudes on here because I do have 25 people total. With that being said, let's start off with, honestly, a GOATed guy who would make the best, one of the best mall Santas out there. And maybe this is in his future. It does seem some shit like he would do. I'm talking about the boy Wonder Boy. You can't tell me Wonder Boy wouldn't make one of the best mall Santa Claus ever. Very on brand for the boy Wonder Boy, and I just think, he could play that character very, very well. I wouldn't be surprised if we're out here and, we're 10 years down the line, this dude is retired, and, out of the kindness of his heart, he's out here volunteering being a mall Santa. Could 100% see that shit happening. Let's go down with someone who I think he would just make a bad, Santa, and that's gonna be the current flyweight champion Alexandre Pantoja. First off, stature wise, maybe a little bit too small. Put a white beard on him, some nice curly white hair with a big Santa hat on. Maybe I could see it then, but I don't see the vision in this one. We'll be having some kids come up asking for, Legos and shit like that, and he'll be like, believe me, I work so hard for this, talking about his dreams of being a mall Santa, working so hard. So I just think there might be a crash out there. So I don't think he would be the best mall Santa. Someone who I think could be an okay one is the boy Bryce Mitchell. I'm saying this because I think he'd be very, very loving towards the kids. I think he'd be a perfect role model type shit for the kids out there. I could literally see a kid going up to him and be like, Santa, I want a globe for Christmas. Some nerdy ass kid wanting a globe. And Bryce Mitchell will be like, listen here, you ain't getting no globe. The earth is flat here. You're getting yourself some Donald Trump merch because he's out here saving us. I could just see him going on a whole ass rant. So because of that, I just think there's too many possibilities of crash out moments. Bryce Mitchell being Santa Claus. So that's why he's going in okay. Let's go into a good one, but it could also be very bad. I'm talking about the champion, the middleweight champion, Dricus Du Plessis. I could just, he's a terrible. He would be a terrible Santa Claus only because you have little Jimmy coming up being like, Santa, I want a PS5 for Christmas. Oh, don't worry. You will get a PS5. Don't worry. His kid will jump off his lap and he'll look at one of the elves. I never said he would get a PS5. I never said that. The gaslighting from this dude would be incredible. So I think there'd be a lot of kids very, very sad this Christmas if DDP was the mall Santa that year. So he is one of the worst ones we have here. Let's keep moving down to again another one that I think would just be terrible. I think Ian Gary wouldn't make a good mall Santa, mainly because I could 100% see a kid being very, very excited, jumping up and down, asking Santa for, I don't know, a bike or something, and I could see Ian Gary saying, shut up, sit down, you're getting a textbook, some bullshit like that. Just the complete opposite of what the kid wanted, telling him to shut up and sit down because he's too excited. I could see him just having too many problems with the kids. On the other hand, he does have some legendary moments with his own kid of, all the impersonations that his kid can do. So maybe I'll move him up to bad because, again, I could see some crash out moments, but he has redeemed himself with some legendary moments with his own kid. So I could see him being decent. Let's keep moving down, though. Another just goated one, Arnold Allen. Now, mainly because I could see Arnold Allen just being a very good listening Santa. I could see him being like, so, what do you want for Christmas, huh? And the kids getting very excited, saying, I want a PS5, I want a teddy bear. And then all of that is like, yeah. And just, very nonchalant. I think it'd be a good listening Santa, but talking Santa, maybe we'll have to dock some points and put him into good. Another terrible Santa, I think Kaikar France would make a terrible mall Santa. Mainly because, I think he would scare the shit out of a lot of those kids doing that weird tongue face thing that he does. So he has to go into terrible. Plus, stature-wise, not quite there. And then I have this guy, very underrated. I think he would be a goated Santa Claus. I'm talking about Marlon Cheeto Vera. He would make probably the best Hispanic Mexican in the entire list, to be honest, in the entire UFC. I could see him being very goated at a mall Santa position. And as I'm saying this shit, it sounds hella disrespectful. I'm not trying to be disrespectful for these dudes saying, yeah, you would make a good mall Santa, completely dismissing their UFC career. I'm not trying to do that, even though it low-key sounds like it. But moving down, honestly, I could see Colby Covington being a very good mall Santa, I'm gonna put him in okay though, just because I could see him being a little bit too passionate and maybe bringing up some weird conversations, like asking, so mom, where were you during the Diddy parties? Just bringing up some weird stuff. So I could see him being good, but I could also see him bringing off some weird vibes as well. Another one that I think would be bad, Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is pretty much the worst version of Arnold Allen, except I can see him being very greedy, and instead of giving people presents, he could be like, that's 9 fights in a row, I deserve another title shot, and just, being a very disrespectful Santa when he's supposed to be the one bringing out the gifts. He's trying to take the gifts, so I could see him being a bad Santa. Another goated Santa Claus. You can't tell me, regardless of the stature, that Volkanovski wouldn't make a great Santa Claus. Fuck it, I would want to go see him if he was Santa Claus. That's my boy. He's going in goated. Moving down, unfortunately, I'm going to put him at the end of okay, mainly because, personality-wise would fit it perfectly. Voice and stature-wise is where my boy Brandon Moreno is missing out, Just a little bit too high-pitched, a little bit too short. It is what it is. I have a bunch of guys here left that I think I'm going to speed run some of these guys. Bilal Muhammad, I could see Bilal Muhammad also being an okay, mall Santa, but I could see him being very cocky, like, I have the best record out of all these guys. Usman isn't doing the stuff I'm doing. GSP doesn't have the record. He was never mall Santa. Like, I could see him being that kind of mall Santa, just being very bragging about how good of a mall Santa he is. Another good mall Santa, do Bronx, do we really have to go into it? Just, I feel he would fit it good. It's just that we would need a translator for this boy, unfortunately. And then, unfortunately, I think Dustin might be I'll put him at okay. But I could see him being a little bit too petty. I could see him being like, so kid, what do you want for Christmas? And the kid saying something like, I want an Alex Pereira action figure, something like this. And he'd be like, oh man, get off me. This dude's a dirtbag, just because he didn't want his own action figure. He didn't want one of those Dustin Poirier action figures. So I could see him being a little salty because of that, but all around, I think he would be good personality-wise. Moving down, unfortunately, I think the CTE, or just the retardedness of Gaethje, has caught up to him, where I don't think he'd be the best mall Santa. I think he would forget where he is sometimes, maybe start doing backflips off stuff, and I just don't think he'd be the greatest fit. Moving down, low-key, Chimaev might be goated for a mall Santa position. I'm going to put him good just because he could scare some of these young kids, but as of recently, he seems to be a very humble man. So I think the newest era of Hazmat is very, very key for that mall Santa position. We're not having the old Hazmat where he's yelling about killing everyone, where definitely would be a terrible Santa, but I think he would be good. We've seen a very human side of him as of recently, especially where that girl came up to him and started talking about, I don't remember, but I just remember made Chimaev cry. So I think this dude is low-key goated when it comes to children. Pause, but I think he would make a good mall Santa. Then I'm going to put Islam Makhachev at the top of okay, only because I could see one of the kids asking for a PS5 and Makhachev being like, no, brother, you need 6 months away from family in Dagestan. I could see some shit like that. So I could see him low-key kidnapping some kids, you know, keep that on the down low, training them to be some beasts, which would be good for the long term, but short term, I don't know about that. Moving down, I think Chandler would be a goated mall Santa. You know, you'd have probably the best one-liners, you'd have the best entrance. I just think you'd make a goated mall Santa. Plus, he would have a nasty promo for Conor McGregor. You would know he would somehow turn this into him yelling for the Conor fight. I think it'd be goated. Moving down, another goated. I wouldn't say goated, but top of good. I have Max Holloway here. I could see the kids asking for bikes, PS5, shit like that, and he'd be like, "We'll see tomorrow night, guys. What you get for the Christmas?" I could see shit like that. So, again, I don't know if I told you guys this. But if you're long enough in the video where you deserve to know, I got some of the best impersonations on YouTube, clearly. That being said, we got 5 guys left. Honestly, all these guys are bangers, but Patty Pim, I could see Patty being a good one as well, except, you know, if they want like physical objects such as bikes, PS5, shit like that, he'll be like, "Nah, man, you ain't a cheeseburger." I don't know how to do that accent, to be honest. I could see him trying to gaslight the kids into wanting food instead of actual presents, so he's gonna get docked a few points. Moving down, I wanted to leave this dude to one of the last, but although I could see Pereira being a goated Santa, I could also just see this dude just terrifying the kids the entire time, making them cry. You know how so many, especially young kids, like infants, when they have pictures with Santa, they just cry. I could just see that being 10 times worse if Pereira was that mall Santa. You're telling me you're like 3 years old and you see this motherfucker with a beard and red hat on? You're not crying your eyes out? With that being said, we got 3 dudes left. Sean O'Malley. Honestly, I could see Sean O'Malley being a very goated mall Santa Claus. He low-key has a different look to him, but I could see it working out, and I could just see, for some reason, I could see him being very charitable, so I could see him giving the kids a shit ton of stuff. With that being said, 2 guys left. Another goated guy, Paulo Costa. I lied, I'm putting him at the bottom of good just because, you know, you're asking for a PS5, you're asking for a bike. Paulo Costa's like, no, secret juice, and he just hands out secret juice, so because of that, docked even more points. Honestly, I could see him I'll put him at top of okay, or bottom of okay. He would be the jackest Santa we've ever had, but I could also see him just giving them secret juice instead. Moving down, I don't know where to put this guy. We have Sean Strickland. Now, a part of me thinks he could be a goated Santa Claus. Then I come down into reality and knowing this dude would be terrible. Like, I could just see some poor kid asking for, you know, a PS5 or something, and Sean goes off like, "Here's the thing, you're the fucking issue with society." And we already know Sean Strickland would make a terrible Santa Claus. It is what it is. This is my list. Again, a rare tier list here that I don't think has ever been done on YouTube, so help your boy out. Also, Merry Christmas, guys. The first Christmas we have done together as some sort of community, I guess. First Christmas in the books for the Rare MMA channel. I appreciate all you guys for watching these videos, subscribing, all that gay shit. I appreciate it. With that being said, guys, enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys in my next video.